Good morning, dear friend. Imagine stepping onto your garden path just as the sun begins to warm the dew-kissed leaves. You settle into your favorite chair with a steaming cup of tea, inhaling the soft perfume of blossoms and earth. In this quiet hour, the garden feels like an old friend, steady, forgiving, and full of possibility. You don't need youth on your side or a wallet overflowing with garden gadgets. What you need most is a spark of imagination and the gentle rhythm of caring for living things. Gardening in our golden years is not about keeping pace with a younger self. It's about savoring the simple pleasures, the whisper of wind through the leaves, the joy of a new sprout, and the satisfaction of nurturing life with your own hands. Yes, knees may creak and backs may protest when bending too low, but there are gentle ways to bring your love of plants closer to you without strain or expense. Over decades in the garden, I've discovered that the most delightful tricks are often free, arising from the things we already have at home. Today, I'll share 22 of my favorite gardening hacks designed especially for seniors who want ease, beauty, and peace in every moment spent outdoors. Each tip is a small act of creativity, a way to repurpose what's around you and to honor both the earth and the wisdom of age. So sip your tea, let your heart wander among the blooms, and know that every garden can flourish no matter the season of life. Barnes Cake Stand Bird Feeder. Remember that lopsided cake stand you inherited from Aunt Martha, the one tucked away in the corner of your kitchen cabinet. Instead of gathering dust, it can become the most delightful centerpiece of your garden. Picture yourself on a warm morning gently placing that vintage stand in a sunny nook among the flowers. No heavy lifting required. You simply carry it to a spot where you can see it from your favorite chair. Here's how you'll bring feathered friends to your backyard tea parties. Choose your spot. Find a level surface like a broad step or a flat stone near your patio. It should be close enough that you don't have to stoop or strain, ideally at waist or chest height. Stabilize the stand. If the ground is uneven, slide a flat brick or tile under one side to steady the base. This prevents wobbling and keeps seed from spilling. Fill and refresh scoop bird seed. Any basic mix will do into the shallow dish. If you bake often, you might have an extra baking tin to use for seed refills. Check every few days, topping up before the last seeds vanish. Invite a variety scatter a bit of seed on nearby stones or in small dishes to attract ground feeders like sparrows and doves. Soon you'll see finches flitting in and out, and if you're fortunate, a bright cardinal gracing the stand with its scarlet feathers. Enjoy from Comfort Place, a comfortable chair or cushion bench within arm's reach. You won't need to bend low, just lean back, cradle your mug of tea, and watch as songbirds dance and chatter. This hack is perfect for those mornings when your joints demand gentler tasks. No heavy lifting, no kneeling in damp soil, and zero cost beyond what you already own. Each time you fill that stand, you'll feel the gentle thrill of creativity, transforming a simple household item into a sanctuary for wildlife. In giving the cake stand a second life, you also give yourself moments of calm wonder, a reminder that beauty and joy often arise from humble reinvention, still useful just like us. Remember that time you passed by a stack of terracotta pots at a garage sale and thought, "Someday I'll find a use for these." Well, that someday is now. Instead of letting an old terracotta pot gather dust or chip away in storage, you can transform it into a handy waist-height tool caddy that keeps your most used gardening essentials right at your fingertips. No more bending, stooping, or hunting through sheds. Why it works for seniors. It's all too familiar. You step outdoors ready to prune a branch or sow a few seeds, only to realize your pruner's gloves or plant tags are nowhere in sight. Searching wastes precious energy and precious time. A terracotta pot organizer brings everything within easy reach, so you spend more moments enjoying your garden and fewer moments looking for tools. Step-by-step guide. Gather your materials. 1 medium-sized terracotta pot, 8–10 inches wide. Matching saucer to keep out moisture and critters. Your favorite hand tools, pruners, trowel gloves, plant labels, seed packets. Choose the perfect spot. Find a level surface near your main work area, ideally on a sturdy table or low wall at about waist height. This ensures you don't have to bend or stretch. Prepare the pot. If your pot has multiple drainage holes, leave them open for airflow. For a single large hole, cover it with a scrap of mesh or an inverted saucer so soil and seed don't spill out. Arrange your tools. Stand pruners and trowels upright in the center, leaning against the rim for stability. Tuck smaller items, markers, seed packets, gloves around the edges. The goal is a balanced bouquet of garden essentials. Protect and cover. Place the matching saucer upside down over the pot when not in use to shield tools from rain and curious critters. When you're ready to work again, simply lift the saucer like a lid, and voila, everything is right there. Customize for comfort. Add a length of ribbon or a strip of cloth around the pot's rim to cushion your hands when lifting. If you prefer paint or decorate the pot to match your garden's color palette, this creative step can be a joyful mini project in itself. Emotional reflection. With this simple hack, you'll feel the ease of having your most important tools gathered like dear friends ready to help at a moment's notice. No more balancing acts or lost minutes, and certainly no more backaches from stooping too low. In repurposing a humble terracotta pot, you're not only saving money, you're honoring the slow, thoughtful pace that makes gardening such a soulful act. Each time you lift that saucer lid, you'll be reminded that beauty and utility often share the same space, and that like these sturdy pots, we become more valuable with the passage of time and the wisdom of reuse. Still useful just like us. Imagine a sturdy trash can you no longer need, perhaps one you've swapped out for a newer model. Instead of rolling it to the curb, give it a second life as a raised planter that sits at waist height, sparing your back and knees the strain of bending low. This simple transformation is a gift to both your body and your garden. Why it's perfect for seniors. Bending over to plant or weed can leave your back aching and your knees protesting. A raised planter brings soil and greenery up to a comfortable level, making every task easier and more enjoyable. Best of all, you don't have to spend a dime, just repurpose a container you already own. What you'll need: one clean, sturdy plastic trash can, about 20-30 gallons. A drill or sharp tool to make drainage holes. Potting soil or a soil and compost mix. Plants of your choice, flowers, herbs, or compact vegetables. Step-by-step guide. Clean and prepare. Rinse the trash can, thoroughly removing any labels or residues. Let it dry completely. Add drainage holes. Using a handheld drill or a heated nail, create a ring of holes about 1 to 2 inches from the bottom. Aim for 8 to 10 evenly spaced holes so excess water can escape. Position your planter, place the can on a flat, stable surface. This could be a patio table, a low garden bench, or even a concrete block. The goal is to have the top rim around waist or chest height. Layer for health. For extra drainage, add a few inches of broken pottery shards, small stones, or even gravel at the bottom. Then fill with potting mix, leaving 2 to 3 inches of space from the rim. Plant with ease. Choose plants that prefer shallow roots. Lavender, basil, lettuce, marigolds, or compact peppers are all excellent choices. Arrange taller varieties in the center and spillers like trailing nasturtiums around the edges for a lush effect. Gently firm the soil around each plant, water thoroughly, and watch them settle in. Maintain without strain. When it's time to water, simply bring your watering can or hose to waist height, no more stooping. To deadhead spent blooms or harvest herbs, you'll stand upright and work at a comfortable angle. Emotional reflection. Every time you stroll past this resurrected trash can, you'll feel a quiet pride. What was once destined for the dump now supports growth, color, and life. In repurposing the ordinary, you honor the cycle of renewal both in your garden and in yourself. This raised planter stands as a testament to the strength of creativity and the wisdom that comes with time. Your garden and your body will thank you for this gentle innovation. Still useful just like us. Remember the joy when you first brought home a healthy potted coleus or basil plant, its vibrant leaves promising months of color and fragrance. Imagine capturing that excitement again and again without spending a penny on new seedlings. Free plant propagation lets you multiply your favorite greenery straight from your own garden, turning a single cutting into a whole family of plants. It's harvesting abundance from abundance you already possess. Why it's ideal for seniors. Buying dozens of new plants can quickly add up, and lugging heavy nursery pots can strain backs and joints. Propagation requires only a small, cutting a glass of water and a bright windowsill or garden table at a comfortable height. No kneeling, no bending, and zero cost beyond what you already grow. Step-by-step guide. Select a healthy parent. Choose a robust, disease-free plant with vigorous growth, mint coleus geraniums, and many herbs root readily. A neglected cutting won't thrive, so look for vibrant stems with no signs of yellowing or wilting. Take the cutting. Using clean pruning shears or scissors, snip a 4 to 6-inch stem just below a leaf node, the spot where leaves join the stem. Remove lower leaves, leaving 2 or 3 pairs at the top. This reduces moisture loss and gives energy to root formation. Find your rooting station. Fill a clear glass or jar with room temperature water, ideally unsalted and freshly changed. The transparency helps you monitor root growth and prevent stagnation. Place the cutting in water so the bare stem sits immersed but leaves stay dry. Choose the right spot set. Your jar on a garden table windowsill or low bench somewhere you can easily tend it without stooping. Bright, indirect sunlight is best. Avoid scorching midday rays that can overheat the water. Watch and wait. Change the water every few days to keep it oxygenated and prevent mold. Within 1 to 3 weeks, fine white roots will appear at the base of the stem. When they reach about 1 to 2 inches long, your cutting is ready for planting. Planting out. Fill a small pot or raised planter, see hack number 3, with a well-draining potting mix. Gently press the rooted cutting into the soil, firming lightly. Water thoroughly, then continue care as you would any young plant. Bright light, consistent moisture, and occasional feeding. Emotional reflection. Watching those delicate roots unfurl is a little miracle proof that life thrives when given a chance. Each new plant is a living testament to your patience and care. You'll feel a warm sense of accomplishment each time you transfer a cutting from glass to soil, knowing that your garden grows richer from within. And with every healthy new leaf, you're reminded that growth is possible at every stage of life, and especially rewarding when it costs nothing but a bit of kindness to nature and yourself. Still useful just like us. Remember the delicate seedlings you nurtured last spring, only to watch them wither under a surprise frost. Those heart-sinking mornings are in the past once you harness the humble power of glass jars and vases. With nothing more than clear glass vessels you already own, you can create cozy microclimates for your tender young plants, mini greenhouses that trap warmth and shield from cold snaps, all at waist or table height. Why it's perfect for seniors. Crouching behind frost cloths or wrestling unwieldy plastic covers can aggravate knees and backs. Old glass jars, vases, or even pickle crocks are lightweight, easy to handle, and require zero cost. You simply lift and replace, no bending, no heavy lifting, and none of the fumbling that comes with awkward covers. Materials needed: a selection of clear glass jars, vases, or even sturdy drinking glasses, any size will do. Young seedlings or newly transplanted plants, a flat raised surface such as a sturdy bench table or patio ledge at a comfortable working height. Step-by-step guide. Gather your glassware raid. Your kitchen cabinets or storage shelves for extra jars. Peanut butter, jam, or pickle jars work beautifully. Tall vases can accommodate larger seedlings or small potted plants. Choose the right plants. This hack is ideal for frost-sensitive seedlings such as tomatoes, peppers, basil, or any early spring flowers. If you're transplanting seedlings into a raised planter or pot, simply cover them immediately after planting. Position your greenhouse place, your seedlings or pots on a flat surface at waist height. This might be an old table, sturdy garden bench, or even the top of a raised trash can planter. See hack number 3. The goal is to eliminate bending and keep everything easily within view. Cover and protect. Gently invert a clear glass jar or vase over each plant, ensuring the rim sits firmly on the surface. The glass traps daytime warmth and retains radiated heat at night, raising the microclimate temperature by several degrees. Ventilate wisely. On sunny days, lift the glass briefly to release excess heat and prevent moisture buildup. In the evening, replace the cover for protection against nighttime chills. Because the jars are transparent, you can monitor soil moisture and leaf health without disturbing the setup. Transition. Gradually. As daytime temperatures stabilize, gradually increase exposure by propping the jar slightly ajar each day until plants are ready to face open-air conditions without risk. Emotional reflection. Every jar you lift and set in place becomes an act of tender care, a small, mindful ritual that honors both your body's needs and your plant's well-being. Watching fragile seedlings thrive under their glass domes is like witnessing a tiny miracle proof that gentle protection yields lush growth. In repurposing simple kitchen glassware, you weave sustainability into your gardening practice, reminding yourself that beauty and resilience often emerge from everyday objects. Each morning as you peer through the glass at new leaves unfurling, feel the warm satisfaction of knowing you've given nature and yourself a cozy haven in which to flourish. Still useful just like us, remember that set of mismatched ceramic plates you inherited or picked up at a thrift shop. Each one unique in pattern and color, yet tucked away because they didn't match your dining set. Those plates, once destined to gather dust, can find new purpose beneath your potted plants, quietly catching excess water while adding vintage charm to your garden sanctuary. Why it matters for seniors. Store-bought plant saucers can be expensive, prone to cracking in sun or cold, and often lack character. Ceramic dinner plates, on the other hand, are sturdy, waterproof, and come in countless patterns to suit every style. Best of all, using what you already have means zero cost. With plates at table or bench height, you avoid kneeling to empty trays or mop up spills, making plant care gentler on your back and knees. Step-by-step guide. Gather your plates. Raid your cupboard's attic or local thrift store for ceramic plates. Small bread plates work best under 6-inch pots, while dinner plates suit larger containers. Choose unglazed or smoothly glazed bottoms to ensure water pools without seeping. Clean. Thoroughly wash each plate with warm, soapy water to remove dust, grease, or food residue. Rinse well and dry completely to prevent slippery surfaces when you place plants on top. Select the perfect spot. Arrange pots on an elevated surface, a sturdy garden table, wide bench, or even the top shelf of a potting rack. This keeps plates and any spilled water at waist height, eliminating the need to bend or kneel during watering. Position your pot center. Each pot on its plate, ensuring there's at least ½ inch of plate visible around the base. This gap collects runoff evenly and prevents soil from spilling onto your table or floor. Water with ease. When you water, do so gently until you see moisture pooling on the plate. The excess water gives roots a chance to soak up just what they need before you empty the saucer or let it evaporate naturally. No messy drips to clean up later. Decorate and personalize. If you're feeling creative, paint the rim of each plate with weatherproof acrylics matching your garden's color palette. Add a stenciled leaf or floral motif for a personalized touch. These simple artistic flourishes can brighten your space and celebrate the plate's new life. Emotional reflection. There's something deeply satisfying about pairing an heirloom or thrifted plate with a living plant. Two unlikely partners coming together to create beauty and function. Each time you water, you'll be reminded of afternoons spent browsing flea markets or flipping through family albums. The chipped edge or faded pattern becomes part of the story, a testament to journeys past and growth present. In transforming dinnerware into plant saucers, you honor the life cycle of objects and people alike, seasons of use leading into seasons of renewal. Still useful just like us. Turning a forgotten bird feeder into a pollinator water station is one of those hacks that warms the heart as much as it helps the garden. You may have a simple hanging feeder or tray-style feeder tucked away after winter's end. Bring it back to life and welcome the tiniest garden helpers: bees, butterflies, and beneficial insects who ensure your flowers bloom and your harvests flourish. Why it's perfect for seniors. Setting up a pollinator station requires almost no heavy lifting or bending. Once positioned at a comfortable height on a shepherd's hook fence post or table edge, it quietly does its work. Watching a butterfly sip water or a busy bee alight on a smooth pebble is a peaceful way to connect with nature, minus the strain of prolonged standing or reaching. Step-by-step guide. Select and clean. Your feeder. Choose any bird feeder. You no longer need a shallow tray, saucer-style feeder, or hanging dish. Give it a gentle scrub with soapy water to remove old seed and debris. Then rinse thoroughly to avoid harming delicate insects. Choose the right location. Hang or mount the feeder at chest or waist height, ideally near flowering plants, but within easy reach from your garden chair. This way you can refill or clean it without stooping or stretching overhead. Add safe landing spots. Pollinators need a place to rest so they don't drown in water. Scatter smooth pebbles, small stones, or even broken pottery shards in the feeder until about half the depth is covered. These create islands where bees and butterflies can perch. Fill with fresh water. Use untreated tap water or collected rainwater. Avoid any additives or salts. Fill the feeder just above the stones, so water touches their tops, allowing insects to drink comfortably without risk. Maintain regularly. Replace water every 2 to 3 days, more often in hot weather, to keep it clean and oxygenated. Rinse the stones and feeder when you refill to prevent algae growth. A quick swap takes only moments and protects pollinator health. Enhance with native flowers. Surround your station with easy care blooms like coneflowers, lavender, and bee balm. Native plants attract local pollinators, and their colors create a lively backdrop for the water station. Emotional reflection. As you sit back with your tea, you'll notice a gentle ballet around your garden. Oasis, a monarch pausing for a drink, a bumblebee flitting between stones, butterflies fluttering wings in gratitude. This simple transformation turns an overlooked object into a vital resource, reminding us that even small acts can have profound impact. By offering a place of respite for pollinators, you foster a balanced ecosystem and witness nature's generosity firsthand. In crafting this watering station, you honor both your own needs, minimal effort, maximum enjoyment, and the tireless work of tiny winged friends who keep our gardens growing strong. Still useful just like us. Have you ever driven past a neighbor's driveway only to spot a pile of perfectly good bricks pots or bags of soil labeled free take as much as you'd like? Tapping into local community sources can transform your garden toolkit without spending a dime, and it turns neighbors' cast-offs into your garden's treasures. Why it's wonderful for seniors. Hunting for heavy bags of soil or cumbersome bricks at garden centers can be tiring, and lugging them home isn't always easy. Community freebies mean someone else has done the heavy lifting. Your job is simply to drive by, pick what you need, and let your creativity bloom. Plus, you'll feel richly rewarded knowing you've given new life to items that might have ended up in a landfill. Step-by-step guide. Scout online marketplaces. Sign in to neighborhood groups on Facebook Marketplace next door or local community pages. Search keywords like free soil, free bricks, or free garden supplies. Save your searches and enable alerts so you never miss a fresh listing. Time your visits. Listings often go fast. Set aside a morning a couple of times a week to check new posts. If you spot something useful, message the poster promptly to confirm availability and arrange a pickup window that fits your schedule. Enlist a helping hand. If items are heavy like a stack of pavers or multiple large pots, consider inviting a neighbor, friend, or family member along. Shared tasks are lighter, and the extra company can make the experience more enjoyable. Load smartly. Line your vehicle's cargo area with an old tarp or sheet to protect upholstery from dirt or scratches. Stack items securely, distributing weight evenly so you can drive and unload without strain. Integrate into your garden. Bricks and stones. Use them to edge flower beds, create a charming pathway, or stabilize a raised planter base. Soil and compost. Mix free soil or compost into your raised beds or containers for a fresh nutrient boost. Pots and containers, clean them up. Add a coat of paint if desired and fill with flowers, herbs, or seedlings. Share the gratitude. A quick thank you message or a small baked treat for the giver fosters community connection. Who knows, tomorrow they might have even more treasures to offer. Emotional reflection. There's a special thrill in uncovering hidden gems for free, an unexpected treasure hunt that brings joy and purpose. Every brick you place and every free bag of soil you enriches your garden's story. More than that, you become part of a community exchange where generosity and resourcefulness blossom together. Each time you walk past your garden path bordered by reclaimed bricks or admire a thriving pot that once sat abandoned, you'll feel a gentle pride you did more than save money. You wove your garden into the fabric of your neighborhood, turning kindness into beauty. Still useful just like us. Remember that once charming garden gnome or weathered metal planter that now sits faded and chipped, its colors dulled by sun and rain. Instead of letting these beloved pieces languish, you can breathe new life into them with leftover paint from around your home. This simple ritual transforms ordinary garden decor into vibrant focal points, and it costs nothing beyond a few brushes and your creative spirit. Why it's perfect for seniors. Straining to lift heavy decor or hauling away chipped pieces can sap energy and dampen enthusiasm. A fresh coat of paint applied while seated at your workbench or table requires minimal lifting and almost no bending. What's more, you won't need to spend $1. Those half-used jars of house or craft paint and a few old brushes are all you need to create something beautiful. Step-by-step guide. Gather your supplies. Leftover interior or exterior acrylic paint any color. A selection of stiffer brushes for broad areas and smaller brushes for details. Drop cloth or old newspaper to protect your workspace. Optional, a spray bottle of water to keep paint workable if it's dried slightly. Choose your piece. Pick a garden ornament with sentimental value, maybe a ceramic planter with a crack or a metal trellis that's turned rusty. Clean it gently with a damp cloth to remove dirt and cobwebs, then let it air dry. Set up comfortably. Arrange your piece on a sturdy table or bench at waist height, either indoors or in a shaded spot outdoors. Sit on a comfortable chair with good back support. Spread newspaper or a drop cloth underneath to catch any drips. Prime and paint. If the surface is very slick, like glazed ceramics, wipe it with fine grit sandpaper or a vinegar-soaked cloth to improve adhesion. Apply a thin, even base coat of paint and allow it to dry fully. Then add a second coat for richer color. If you have multiple colors, consider layering a soft pastel base with bold accents or a muted tone for background and brighter hues for raised details. Add personal touches. Once the main coat is dry, use smaller brushes to stencil simple motifs, leave spirals or dots that echo your garden's flowers and foliage. If you're feeling playful, write a brief garden-inspired word or phrase like bloom or welcome in elegant script. Seal and display. If you have leftover sealant or a clear acrylic spray, apply a light protective layer to guard against weathering. Let everything cure according to product instructions before returning your refreshed decor to its outdoor perch. Emotional reflection. As you brush on each stroke of color, you're engaging in a gentle act of renewal, both for your garden treasures and for yourself. The familiar pattern of paint meeting surface is soothing, a tactile reminder that beauty often springs from care and attention. Every time you pass by your newly vibrant gnome or planter, you'll feel a quiet delight knowing that with a small creative effort, you've turned the ordinary into something extraordinary. In reviving these pieces, you celebrate not only the forgiving nature of paint, but the resilient spirit you carry season after season. Still useful just like us. Have you ever paused to watch a ladybug wander across a leaf or marveled at a mason bee buzzing busily among blossoms? These tiny garden allies, ladybugs, lacewings, solitary bees, and predatory beetles, help keep pests in check and flowers pollinated. Instead of buying a commercial bug hotel, you can craft your own free sanctuary using natural materials found around your yard. It's an easy, budget-friendly way to encourage beneficial insects that support a healthy, balanced garden ecosystem. Why it's ideal for seniors. Building a bug hotel requires minimal bending and lifting. Gather lightweight twigs, pine cones, and dried leaves, then simply stuff them into a container at waist height. No heavy construction or complex assembly, just a few mindful moments of arranging materials that invite helpful insects to take up residence. Once installed, your hotel quietly does its work enhancing biodiversity while you relax and enjoy the garden's gentle hum. Step-by-step guide. Find a container. Choose an open-ended wooden crate, an empty coffee can, or a hollow log, anything rigid enough to hold materials but light enough to lift. A shallow wooden box about the size of a shoebox works beautifully and sits easily on a bench or ledge. Gather hotel materials. Sticks and twigs. Break branches into 3 to 4 inch lengths. Pine cones or conifer cones. Their natural cavities are perfect for hiding bees. Dried leaves and grass provide soft bedding for lacewings and ladybugs. Bark pieces, crevices in bark mimic tree hollows for beetles. Drilled wooden blocks. Optional. If you have spare wood, drill 1 4-inch holes of varying depths for solitary bees. Assemble at waist height. Place your container on a sturdy garden bench or tabletop at a comfortable height. This eliminates kneeling or stooping when adding or refreshing materials later. Layer and pack. Start with thicker twigs at the back, then layer pine cones, bark, and leaves. Pack materials snugly, but leave small gaps. Bug hotels work best when materials are tight enough to stay put, yet airy enough for insects to slip in. Position in a protected spot. Mount or place the completed bug hotel against a fence, under a shrub, or beneath eaves to shelter it from heavy rain. Ensure it faces southeast or east, so morning sun gently warms the interior. Observe and refill. Over the season, you'll notice tiny occupants, a ladybug tucked among leaves, or a solitary bee checking into a drilled hole. Every spring or autumn, top off materials to keep the hotel fresh and inviting. Emotional reflection. There's a quiet joy in knowing you've created a haven for nature's helpers. Each time you pass your bug hotel, imagine the bustling community within tiny wings, flitting gentle crawlers guarding your plants against pests and bees, ready to pollinate your flowers. In repurposing simple yard debris, you honor the garden's intricate web of life and remind yourself that small acts yield profound rewards. Just as we find comfort in a cozy chair and a good book, beneficial bugs find sanctuary in your thoughtful creation. Still useful just like us. Imagine cracking eggs for your morning omelet, then pausing before you toss the shells aside. Those fragile halves brimming with calcium and trace minerals can become miniature nurseries for seedlings and natural barriers against slugs and snails, all without costing you a cent. This twofold hack turns breakfast waste into gardening gold. Why seniors will love it. Handling eggshell halves at a comfortable tabletop or raised bench means no stooping or kneeling. You simply rinse, fill, and later sprinkle tasks that honor your body's rhythm and keep chores gentle on your joints. Plus, repurposing kitchen scraps into garden helpers feels deeply satisfying, linking your indoor and outdoor activities in a seamless cycle of renewal. Step 1. Seed starters. Collect and clean. After breakfast, rinse each eggshell half under cool water to remove any membrane. Let them air dry on a towel. Drainage prep. Gently poke a small hole in the bottom, an easy task with a toothpick or sharpened skewer to allow excess moisture to escape. Fill and sew. Place shells in an egg carton cut-down tray for stability, or nestle them on a saucer at waist height. Fill each half with a light potting mix or garden soil. Plant seeds. Drop 1 or 2 seeds into each shell. Lettuce, herbs, marigolds, and begonias all thrive in this setup. Lightly press soil and water gently. Watch and tend. Position your tray on a sunlit windowsill or raised bench. Water with a mist bottle as needed, ensuring the shells never dry out completely. Within days, you'll see tiny sprouts emerge, each cradled in its own calcium-rich chamber. Step 2. Natural pest barrier. Once seedlings develop true leaves, or when you're ready to transplant, you can repurpose crushed shells to protect your garden. Crush and scatter. Save additional eggshells in a paper bag. When full, gently crush them into coarse shards. Gloves protect your fingers from sharp edges. Create a ring. Surround vulnerable plants, tender lettuces, young hostas, or seedling trays with a thin ring of crushed shells. Barrier benefits. The jagged shell edges deter slugs and snails, causing these pests to turn away rather than feast on your tender greens. Over time, the shells slowly break down, adding calcium back into the soil. Emotional reflection. Working with something as simple as an eggshell connects you to the garden in a fundamental way. Beginning and end meal and mulch. Each time you slide a shell into place or scatter its fragments around a plant, you honor the cycle of life and the wisdom of waste not. You're reminded that every action, no matter how small, can nurture growth, protect beauty, and celebrate the gentle ingenuity that makes gardening a joyful, lifelong pursuit. Still useful just like us. Remember the gentle steam rising from your pot of boiled vegetables, or pasta water rich with nutrients that you drain away without a thought. That simple kitchen byproduct, when reused thoughtfully, becomes a free natural fertilizer, teeming with beneficial minerals like calcium, potassium, and magnesium. Instead of sending it down the sink, you can harness this liquid gold to nourish your garden, strengthening roots and promoting lush growth, all without spending a dime. Why seniors will appreciate it. Lugging heavy fertilizer bags from the store or measuring chemicals can be tiring and awkward. Reusing cooking water requires no extra purchases, no kneeling and minimal lifting, just a light container you can pour from without strain. Plus, the satisfaction of turning everyday household waste into plant food brings a delightful sense of wholeness to your gardening routine. Materials needed. A heat-proof container with a lid, e.g., an old stock pot or large pitcher. Unsalted cooking water from boiled vegetables, potatoes, pasta, or eggs. No oil or salt added. A watering can or lightweight pitcher for application. Step-by-step guide. Collect and cool. After cooking, let the water cool to room temperature. Immediately pour it into your container, no need to transfer through multiple vessels. If you've boiled different foods, one after another, say potatoes, then carrots, simply top up the same container, creating a mild compost tea that blends nutrients. Store sensibly. Keep the covered container on a countertop or shelf at waist or counter height so you can refill your watering can without bending or balancing heavy jugs. Aim to use the water within 24-36 hours to prevent stagnation. The lid helps keep out debris. Prepare to water. When your plants show thirst, wilting leaves, or dry topsoil, pour the cooled cooking water into a lightweight watering can. Fill it halfway so it remains easy to lift. Dilute with fresh water if concentration seems strong. Application technique. Gently water the base of each plant, ensuring the nutrient-rich liquid soaks into the root zone. Avoid splashing foliage to minimize any risk of disease. For container gardens or raised planters, see hack number 3. Simply bring the watering can up to your comfortable working height and pour slowly. Alternate with regular water use, cooking water every second or third watering to prevent salt or starch buildup. On alternating days, water with fresh rainwater or tap water to maintain balanced soil moisture. Observe and adjust. Over the next week, watch for signs of healthier, stronger growth. Greener leaves, firmer stems, and vigorous new shoots. If growth seems too rapid or foliage appears waterlogged, reduce the frequency or dilute more heavily. Emotional reflection. Each time you choose to save that humble cooking water, you're weaving sustainability into your gardening fabric. What was once a forgotten byproduct becomes a source of life, connecting your kitchen and garden in a seamless, eco-friendly loop. You'll feel a quiet pride every time you water, knowing that nothing goes to waste, and that simple mindfulness can yield robust plants and vibrant blooms. In honoring the full cycle of nourishment, you celebrate both the generosity of nature and the gentle wisdom that comes with time. Still useful just like us. Imagine spending a peaceful afternoon sipping lemonade on your porch, only to glance into the flower bed and see wandering patches of dandelions and crabgrass creeping back once again. Instead of kneeling for hours pulling stubborn weeds, then watching new ones sprout days later, you can lay down an invisible shield of old newspaper to stop them before they start. This natural biodegradable method keeps your beds tidy and your back pain free. Why it's perfect for seniors. Traditional weeding demands relentless bending and tugging activities that can aggravate joints and sap energy. Laying newspaper requires just a light stoop and a gentle smoothing motion at waist height, then letting mulch do the rest. There's no need for chemical killers, plastic barriers, or hours on your knees. Using yesterday's news enriches your soil as it breaks down, closing the loop between Sunday morning headlines and Sunday afternoon gardening. Step-by-step guide. Gather your materials. Several sections of newspaper black and white pages work best. Avoid glossy inserts. A thick layer of organic mulch, wood chips, straw, or shredded leaves. Scissors or garden shears to trim paper as needed. Prepare the bed. Gently clear away any large weeds or debris from the surface. You don't need perfection, just remove the tallest offenders so the newspaper lies flat. Lay the newspaper. At a comfortable height on a raised bed or flat-topped container, smooth sheets of newspaper directly over the soil overlapping edges by 6-8 inches. Cover the entire bed area, trimming paper neatly around existing plants or border edges. The goal is a continuous layer that blocks sunlight completely. Apply mulch. Pile your chosen mulch 2-3 inches deep over the newspaper. This anchors the paper, retains soil moisture, and adds an attractive finishing touch. The mulch layer also prevents wind from blowing sheets away. Monitor and renew. Over the growing season, the newspaper will slowly decompose, feeding organic matter into the soil. If bare patches appear, simply tuck in an extra sheet and top with more mulch. In cooler climates, your newspaper barrier can last several months before needing a refresh. Enjoy a weed-free space. With this barrier in place, weeds struggle to sprout, giving your flowers and vegetables space to thrive. When it's time to plant new seeds, simply move aside the mulch and paper sow, then replace the barrier around seedlings. Emotional reflection. As you gaze upon smooth mulch-draped beds free of invasive weeds, you'll sense the gentle power of this simple hack. Every layer of newspaper represents a small act of care, protecting your plants, nurturing your soil, and honoring the cycle of reuse. This humble barrier reminds us that strength often lies in subtlety. A thin sheet of paper thoroughly applied can shield your garden from persistent invaders. In embracing this technique, you're not just saving time and effort, you're weaving sustainability into each bed, proving that thoughtful simplicity yields profound peace and beauty. Still useful just like us? Imagine breezy summer days when you're enjoying a chilled lemonade on the porch, only to worry about your potted tomatoes wilting under the midday sun. Rather than rushing back to water or wrestling with hoses, you can repurpose an old plastic bottle into a gentle gravity-fed irrigation system that delivers moisture slowly and steadily, keeping soil consistently damp and your back strain-free. Why it works for seniors. Carrying heavy watering cans or kneeling beside each pot can aggravate arthritis and tire muscles. This self-watering trick requires only a light bottle you can place at waist or table height. No stooping, no lifting beyond shoulder level, and less frequent watering visits means you relax more and garden less, all while plants stay happily hydrated. Materials needed. 1 empty plastic bottle, 1 to 2 liters water, soda, or juice bottles all work. A sharp nail or small drill bit. Fresh room temperature water. Potted plants or garden beds at a comfortable height, raised planter table or bench. Step-by-step guide. Prepare the bottle. Remove the label and rinse thoroughly to eliminate stickiness. Let it air dry. Use a nail warmed briefly over a flame or a small drill bit to poke 4 to 6 evenly spaced holes in the bottle's cap, about 1/16 inch wide. This regulates a slow drip. Fill with water. Fill the bottle completely with water, leaving no air pockets. Screw the cap back on tightly to prevent leaks. Water temperature should match ambient conditions. Cool, fresh water avoids shocking roots. Position your system. Turn the bottle upside down and insert it into the soil near the plant's root zone, cap first. If using a raised planter or table, you can simply rest the bottle on the soil's surface, pressing slightly to anchor it. For heavier pots, support the bottle with a small stake or a cut strip of wire to keep it upright. Adjust drip rate. If water pours too quickly, tighten the cap slightly or add a small piece of tape over one hole. Too slow. Enlarge holes just a pinch. You're aiming for a steady drip, about 1 drop every 2 to 3 seconds. Monitor and refill. Every few days, or as the bottle empties, replace it with a freshly filled one. On very hot days, you might need to refill every 24-48 hours. Cooler periods allow longer intervals. The system's simplicity means refills take seconds, and you remain upright the entire time. Scale up if needed. For larger beds or multiple containers, use larger bottles or several small ones spaced evenly. You can even group 3 small bottles around bigger planters to maintain consistent moisture without carrying a hose or heavy cans. Emotional reflection. Watching your plants thrive under this quiet drip irrigation is a gentle reminder that gardening and life flows best at a steady pace. Each self-watering bottle stands as a testament to resourcefulness and care, repurposing a common waste item into a nurturing lifeline. In trusting the slow measured drip, you grant yourself the freedom to sit back, relax, and savor the beauty of your garden without worry or discomfort. Still useful just like us. Picture that old fabric shoe organizer hanging forgotten in your closet, its pockets empty, dust gathering in the corners. Instead of relegating it to yard sale fate, why not turn it into a vibrant vertical garden that sits at eye or waist level? This clever repurpose uses minimal floor space, eliminates bending, and invites a tapestry of greenery right onto your fence or wall. Why it's ideal for seniors. Crouching low to plant or weed in ground beds can be challenging for aging joints. A shoe organizer garden keeps plants at a comfortable height, allowing you to tend foliage and harvest herbs without strain. Plus, hanging pockets naturally drain excess water, reducing risk of root rot and messy spills. Materials needed: 1 sturdy fabric shoe organizer with at least 12 pockets, hooks or a tension rod to hang the organizer securely on a fence railing or wall. Potting soil lightweight mixes work best for vertical setups. A variety of small plants, herbs, mint, chives, succulents, annual flowers, or trailing vines. Step-by-step guide. Clean and inspect. Shake out dust and give the organizer a gentle vacuum if needed. Inspect seams and pockets, reinforcing any weak areas with needle and thread or safety pins. Select your location. Choose a spot with bright indirect sunlight, an exterior wall, balcony railing, or garden fence. Ensure the surface can bear the weight of soil and plants when watered. Ideally mount at waist height for easy access. Hang securely, use sturdy hooks, heavy-duty adhesive strips, or a tension rod designed for outdoor use. Test stability by lightly tugging on the organizer before filling. It should remain firmly in place. Fill pockets with soil. Working from bottom to top, fill each pocket 2/3 full with potting mix. Avoid overpacking. Pockets need airflow to prevent mold. Top up to just below the pocket edge so plants have room to root. Plant thoughtfully. Herbs place. Basil, parsley, and chives in individual pockets for easy snipping. Flowers, petunias, impatiens, and begonias add splashes of color. Succulents provide variety in pockets with good drainage for these low-water beauties. Trailing vines, lobelia, or creeping thyme spill over pocket edges for a lush cascade. Water from the top. Gently water the top row of pockets, allowing excess to trickle down, moistening lower pockets. Check soil moisture with a finger-top. Pockets may dry faster in sun, so water more frequently as needed. Maintain and harvest. As herbs or flowers grow, trim and use them directly from your vertical garden, no kneeling required. Rotate seasonal plants by swapping out pockets, keeping your display fresh and exciting year-round. Emotional reflection. Each pocket you fill becomes its own little world of green, a testament to creativity and adaptation. As you tend this living tapestry, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment, transforming an overlooked household item into a thriving wall of life. From the comfort of standing at eye level, you'll pinch fresh herbs, admire blossoms, and watch vines trail gracefully, all while honoring the gentle pace that makes gardening a soothing, lifelong joy. Still useful just like us. Remember those old rain boots tucked away in the back of your closet? Once trusty companions, through muddy puddles now slightly scuffed and out of fashion. Instead of donating or discarding them, you can repurpose a pair of boots into whimsical elevated planters that showcase vibrant blooms or trailing herbs without any bending or kneeling. This charming hack brings color and personality to your garden while honoring the boot's long service underfoot. Why it works for seniors. Filling and displaying boot planters happens entirely at waist height, no stooping into ground beds, no wrestling with heavy pots. Boots offer built-in drainage thanks to creases and seams, and their tall shafts support soil depth for healthy root growth. Plus, standing back to admire your floral footwear fusion offers a delightful visual reward for minimal effort. Step-by-step guide. Select and clean. Boots. Choose a pair of old rain or work boots with sturdy structure. Rinse away dirt and let them dry completely. If mud is stubborn, a gentle scrub with a soft brush and soapy water will do the trick. Create drainage. Most boots have natural drainage points, but for extra assurance, use a nail or awl to pierce small holes in the soles and along seams. A dozen holes, 6 per boot, should prevent waterlogging without disrupting aesthetics. Position at comfort height. Place each boot upright on a raised surface such as a low garden bench, sturdy table, or even the top edge of a raised planter. Arrange so you can reach inside without bending hip or waist level is ideal. Layer for health. Add a 1 to 2 inch layer of broken terracotta shards, gravel, or small stones to the boot toe. This promotes airflow and prevents soil from washing out of drainage holes. Fill with potting mix. Gently fill boots with well-draining potting soil, leaving 1–2 inches at the top. The boot's shape guides the soil into a snug chamber where roots can establish and cling. Choose your plants. Trailing varieties. Nasturtiums. Ivy geraniums or creeping thyme cascade beautifully over the boot cuff. Compact flowers. Marigolds, pansies, or primroses add bright pops of color. Herbs, mint chives, or oregano offer fragrance and easy snips for kitchen use. Planting technique. Hold each boot steady as you nestle plants into the soil, arranging taller varieties toward the back and spillers at the front cuff. Gently firm soil around roots, water thoroughly, and let excess drain away. Ongoing care. Water your boot planters from above, letting the soil settle and any overflow pass through drainage holes. Because boots stand at a comfortable height, refilling is a breeze, no lifting heavy buckets or stooping into garden beds. Emotional reflection. Every time you glance at boots brimming with blossoms, you'll feel a spark of joy. The unexpected pairing of footwear and flowers embodies playful creativity and resourcefulness. The boot's familiar silhouette, now transformed, reminds you that beauty often arises from reinvention. By repurposing these trusty old friends, you honor their past journeys and give them new purpose, proving that life's simplest moments, like planting seeds in a boot, can bloom into lasting wonder. Still useful just like us. Remember the sturdy wooden pallets left over from that delivery last season. Instead of letting them weather in a corner, lean one against a sunny wall to create a vertical herb garden at a comfortable height. This pallet rack uses natural slats as troughs, lifting your favorite culinary plants off the ground and arranging them in a tidy space-saving display. No bending or kneeling required. Why it's perfect for seniors. Traditional herb beds demand frequent stooping to plant, water, and harvest. With a pallet rack, each row sits at waist or chest height, letting you tend vibrant mint, rosemary, basil, and thyme from a seated or standing position. Plus, reusing a pallet costs nothing and keeps perfectly good wood from the landfill. Step-by-step guide. Select and prep the pallet. Choose a clean, sturdy pallet free of chemical stains or pest damage. Prop it against a wall at a gentle angle about 10 degrees back so soil stays in place and water drains toward the wall, not your patio. Reinforce the slats. If the gaps between slats are wide, nail or staple landscape fabric to the backside, forming shallow pockets. This liner holds soil while letting excess water escape, ensuring your herbs never stay soggy. Position at comfort height. Rest the bottom of the pallet on 2 low blocks or pavers about 6 inches high to raise the first row above knee level. This setup allows soil-filled slats to sit from waist down to mid-thigh, perfect for over-the-edge planting and easy tending. Fill with soil. Use a light, well-draining potting mix enriched with compost. Starting from the bottom slat, gently spoon soil into each pocket until it's firmly packed but not overfilled. Leave a small gap at the top of each to prevent spillage. Plant thoughtfully. Group herbs by water. Needs drought-tolerant oregano and thyme in the slats highest in the rack. Moisture-loving parsley and cilantro lower down. Tuck each plant's root ball into the soil, firming around it so stems stand upright. Water from above. Using a watering can or gentle spray from a hose nozzle, water the top row thoroughly. Gravity will carry moisture downward, hydrating lower slats in turn. Check soil moisture at each level with a finger. Water again only when the top inch feels dry. Harvest with ease. Snip herbs with scissors or pruners at waist height, no bending needed. Regular harvesting encourages fresh growth and lets you enjoy cooking with homegrown flavors all season. Emotional reflection. When you lean back to admire your living spice rack, you'll feel a surge of creative resourcefulness. What began as a humble shipping pallet now bursts with fragrant herbs, proof that beauty and function can emerge from simple materials. Each breeze carrying rosemary's scent or basil's aroma will remind you that growth thrives when you blend ingenuity with a gentle pace. In this vertical sanctuary, your hands stay comfortable, your spirit feels light, and your kitchen just steps away, awakens with garden-fresh goodness. Still useful just like us? You've likely tossed vegetable peelings or coffee grounds into your compost bin for years. But did you know you can brew a nutrient-rich tea fertilizer from those same scraps without spending money on store-bought feeds? Compost tea harnesses beneficial microbes and minerals from kitchen waste to nourish soil and invigorate plants, all prepared at a height that spares your back and knees. Why seniors will love it. Mixing powdered or granular fertilizer can strain joints and heavy bags demand lifting. Compost tea requires only a lightweight bucket or container filled, stirred, and drained at table height. No kneeling, no hauling, and zero cost beyond what you already toss in the bin. The result is a living brew that supports healthy soil and vibrant growth. Step-by-step guide. Gather your ingredients. Collect kitchen scraps, fruit and vegetable peelings, used coffee grounds, tea leaves, and crushed eggshells. Avoid oils, meats, or dairy that can foul the mixture. Choose a container, use a clean 5-gallon bucket with a lid positioned on a sturdy table or bench. This keeps the process at comfortable height and protects the mixture from curious critters. Add scraps and water. Fill the bucket 1/4 full with scraps, then top up with non-chlorinated water, rainwater, or tap water allowed to sit overnight to dissipate chlorine. Stir gently to combine. Steep and aerate, cover loosely, and let the mixture steep for 24-48 hours at room temperature. Every 12 hours stir or gently agitate to oxygenate, fostering beneficial bacteria rather than odors. Strain the tea. After steeping, place a colander or coarse mesh over another clean container. Pour the liquid through this. Filtered compost tea is your nutrient booster. The solid scraps return to the compost pile for further breakdown. Apply to plants. Dilute the tea half and half with fresh water if it seems strong. Using a watering can, pour around the base of flowers, vegetables, or container plants. Avoid soaking foliage, focus on root zones for best uptake. Repeat. Regularly brew. Fresh batches weekly or bi-weekly during the growing season. Each cup of compost tea enriches soil life, improves drainage, and enhances disease resistance, leading to healthier, more resilient plants. Emotional reflection. Brewing compost tea transforms everyday scraps into a liquid elixir that whispers of renewal. Each stir at your work table is a mindful moment, connecting kitchen and garden in one seamless cycle. Watching your plants perk up after a tea application fills you with quiet pride, proof that gentle stewardship yields robust life. In repurposing what you already have, you honor the wisdom of natural cycles and the ease of caring for your garden with simple, sustainable methods. Still useful just like us. Wine corks, those small familiar cylinders that seal celebratory bottles, then often end up in a box or the trash. Yet they're perfect candidates to become durable, charming plant markers that identify seedlings and perennials, no more forgetting which herb is which. This easy craft happens at tabletop height, keeps your beds organized, and costs nothing beyond a handful of corks. Why it's great for seniors. Traditional plant labels require bending to write and insert into soil. With cork markers, you simply push a skewer or slender stick into the cork right at chair level and press it into the ground. No heavy tools or awkward angles, just neat rows of labeled greenery that brighten the garden with a rustic handmade touch. Step-by-step guide. Collect corks and skewers. Save natural wine corks from bottles. Gather wooden skewers, bamboo chopsticks, or even thin plant stakes. Each will slip easily into a cork's side. Attach the cork to a skewer. Using a small knife or awl, make a hole horizontally through one end of the cork. Gently push the skewer through until the cork's center grips it snugly. Trim skewer length if needed, so cork sits just above soil when inserted. Label at comfort height. Sit at your potting bench or garden table and write plant names on cork ends with a permanent marker. Use simple abbreviations if your handwriting is small. BAS for basil, THY for thyme, LEM for lemon balm. Insert into soil. Slide the marker into the soil beside seedlings or mature plants. Position at a slight angle away from stems to avoid damage, ensuring the cork remains visible above the ground. Refresh as needed. Corks weather over seasons. When the writing fades, simply remove the old marker, replace, or rewrite fresh names and reposition. Skewers may be reused indefinitely. Emotional reflection. Each cork marker carries a memory, a shared bottle of wine, a celebration, a quiet dinner. Repurposing these tokens in your garden weaves personal stories into the plants' lives. As you harvest basil or sprinkle thyme into dishes, seeing familiar corks will bring a smile and a fond recollection. In this small craft, you honor both nature's abundance and human connection, proving that labels can do more than identify. They can celebrate moments past and nurture moments yet to come. Still useful just like us. Long rain gutters once channeled water off your roof. Now they can channel sweet strawberries into your harvest basket. By mounting horizontal gutter sections at waist height, you create a series of shallow troughs, ideal for growing strawberries, lettuce, or cascading flowers. This linear planter saves space, reduces bending, and yields fresh berries at eye level. Why it's ideal for seniors harvesting. Ripe strawberries from ground-level mounds demand stooping and reaching. Elevated gutters let you pick luscious fruit with ease, and their shallow profile requires only modest soil depth, no heavy potting mixes to haul. Plus, gutters are free or inexpensive at home improvement sales, and installation happens at a comfortable working height. Step-by-step guide. Gather materials. Obtain 2-3 lengths of used or new PVC or aluminum gutters 4-6 inches wide. Cut to desired planter length 4-6 feet works well for benches or fences. Mount securely. Install gutter brackets or heavy-duty hooks on a suitable wall, fence, or railing spaced every 12-18 inches. Position the bottom edge about 2 feet from the ground so the top lip sits at waist height. Add drainage drill. 4 to 5 small holes in the bottom of each gutter section for excess water to escape. This prevents soggy roots and keeps berry plants healthy. Fill with lightweight mix. Partially fill gutters with a lightweight raised bed mix, half peat or coconut coir, half composted soil. Leave a 1-inch gap at the rim for easy watering. Plant strawberries. Place strawberry starts or youthful plants 6 to 8 inches apart. Gently firm soil around roots and water thoroughly. Alternate leafy greens or cascading blooms between strawberries for color and variety. Maintain easily water from the top, either with a watering can or a gentle hose attachment, letting moisture trickle through. Harvest berries without bending and replace spent plants seasonally to keep your troughs abundant. Emotional reflection. Lean back to admire rows of ruby berries dangling within reach. Each plump strawberry you pick without strain celebrates ingenuity and the joy of accessible gardening. This simple hack transforms empty gutters into edible decor, reminding you that adaptability brings fresh sweetness to both garden and life. In tasting each sun-warmed berry, you'll savor the flavor of creativity and the delight of a harvest earned in ease. Still useful just like us. Ever tried planting seeds only to battle clumps of old roots, twigs, or stray stones in your soil? Instead of kneeling to sift by hand, you can repurpose a kitchen sieve or a small hardware screen over a shallow tray positioned at waist height to fine-tune soil texture before filling pots or raised beds. This method prevents clogged drainage, ensures smooth seed beds, and spares your back from endless stooping. Why seniors will appreciate it. Traditional sifters require lifting heavy buckets and bending low to shake soil through a mesh. By placing a tray and sieve on a sturdy table or bench, you can pour soil into the screen and gently shake or tap. No stooping, no heavy lifting. The result is perfectly sifted soil ready for easy planting. Step-by-step guide. Select your screen. Use a fine kitchen sieve, old window screen, or hardware cloth with 1/4 inch mesh. Ensure the frame is sturdy and free of rust. Position the tray. Place a shallow plastic or metal tray. An old baking sheet works well on a potting table or bench about waist height. The tray will catch sifted soil while you work comfortably. Pour and shake. Scoop small amounts of garden soil or compost into the screen. Hold the sieve over the tray and gently tap or shake side to side, allowing fine particles to fall through. Larger bits remain in the sieve. Return debris. When the sieve fills with roots or debris, simply lift it and empty the contents back into your compost pile or discard. This quick action keeps the process smooth and efficient. Fill containers easily. Once your tray holds enough sifted soil, use a small scoop or trowel to fill pot seed trays or raised planters, no bending needed. Even distribution and fine texture promote uniform germination and root growth. Clean and store. After your planting session, tap the sieve clean and brush any residue into compost. Store the sieve and tray on a lower shelf for next time, always ready at waist height. Emotional reflection. Each sifted shovelful of soil reconnects you to the nurturing essence of gardening. The smooth, crumbly texture in your hands foretells successful seed sprouts and tender roots taking hold. In transforming a simple sieve and tray into a soil refining station, you reinforce that gardening need not be arduous. It can be smart, ergonomic, and deeply satisfying. As you plant seeds in your freshly sifted mix, remember that attention to small details yields the richest growth. Still useful just like us. Long gone are the days when tomato vines and climbing beans tumble over tangled stems or snap under their own weight. By slipping metal curtain rings, those round hoops with built-in clips, onto stakes or a trellis at chest height, you provide gentle, flexible support that grows with your plants. This hack keeps vines upright, improves air circulation, and ensures you tend them without bending into dense foliage. Why it's perfect for seniors. Traditional plant clips and twine can tangle and require stooping to secure vines. Curtain rings slide easily onto stakes or wire frames, letting you lift stems into place at waist or shoulder level, no twisting or low-angle maneuvers. The ring's gentle grip avoids bruising and their height adjusts as your plants climb higher. Step-by-step guide. Collect rings and stakes. Gather metal curtain rings with small clips or holes, often 1 to 2 inches in diameter. Choose stakes or garden poles tall enough to hold your supported vines at a comfortable height. Install stakes, position stakes near each plant, driving them into the soil until firmly anchored. Aim for the main stem side so rings can slide freely along the stake. Attach rings. Slide a ring down the stake to just above the plant's current highest leaf cluster. Clip or hook the vine stem gently into the ring, ensuring it rests securely but isn't pinched. Adjust over time. As plants grow, simply lift or unclip the stem from lower rings and move clips higher on the stake. Repeat every few inches of growth, creating a living ladder that supports fruit-heavy branches without sagging. Encourage airflow. Spacing rings apart keeps vines suspended and open to breezes, reducing humidity-related diseases. The rack-like effect also makes harvesting tomatoes, beans, or cucumbers a breeze, no bending into foliage. Reuse and repurpose. At season's end, remove rings and stakes, storing them for next year's climbing crops. Rings remain rust-resistant and ready to support vines season after season. Emotional reflection. Watching your plants climb gracefully through each ring feels like witnessing nature and ingenuity in harmony. No longer obscured by chaotic growth, your vines stand proud, their fruit displayed and accessible. Each clip and adjustment at comfortable height spares your joints and honors your gentle pace. In repurposing curtain rings objects once framing windows, you give them new purpose, supporting life, reminding you that with a little creativity, every tool can blossom into something unexpectedly wonderful. Still useful just like us. Gardening smarter, not harder. You've now unlocked 22 free hacks to make every moment in your garden a little easier, more beautiful, and deeply satisfying. Which idea will you try first? I can't wait to hear about your creative transformations. Happy gardening, dear friend.